Hey everybody, it's Party Elite with an online battle of my own today as I take the Beastmen with a relatively interesting build that I actually saw from Anjage's battles into battle against the Warriors of Chaos. And this is not going to be the usual online battle layout like I usually like to do. I'm not going to go into as much depth because, well, you can see, I think, why. So initially I wasn't even going to show this battle, but then I thought, you know what, let's do it. So again, this build is something I've seen Anjage use, and I thought I'd have some fun on the battlefield with it. On Sunday, after a very arduous weekend, it was a busy weekend, I finally sat down and I thought, let's try and get an online battle in, let's play some of this game that I love so much, and let's go in and try something interesting, and this is what I got dealt with as the first battle, so, yeah. Now, I come in with a couple of Senegor with Great Weapon tucked away into the corner over here in the trees, hoping to get in a nice flanking maneuver if the enemy is deployed there, or if they decide to get adventurous, I'd be able to come in from a nice rear angle, while over here we do have the Senegor with throwing axes, so that if they get adventurous once more with some flying units or some cavalry, I can get some early damage and then pull back as well. These guys are all armor piercing, so a lot of damage to be done to the Warriors of Chaos. Meanwhile, the main army itself, very small, consists of a couple of Minotaurs here and here, and we do have the Minotaurs with great weapons as well. Again, armor-piercing, anti-large, a lot of hurt to be dealt, while Kazarak One-Eye, armor-piercing, anti-infantry, can do a lot of work against the Warriors of Chaos, and of course, the Brave Shaman of Death with Spirit Leeching can do a lot of work, the Fate of Buna as well, Arcane Conduit, and Life Leeching too. But my opponent decides, let's go with a bunch of Feral Manticore, and Archaon is somewhere in there as well, I think. There he is, there's Archaon, charging into the field, so I decide, okay, well, this is not going to be a lot of fun. I send my entire army in from all directions. I do send one unit of Senegor with Great Weapon back here to scout in case he has any units on the ground, because I do need to take care of them first, and the rest of my army does get pulled back just to buy me some more time, while the Brave Shaman here is being sent forward to target Archaon and just get rid of him off the field nice and early, pop a Spirit Leech on him as soon as I can, while the Senegor with Great Weapon as well, going in to try and take care of that leadership nice and early. I do turn around and push in with my Minotaurs as well, unfortunately selecting Kazarak as well, and he does get completely bogged down by the Manticores, and he's going to take a lot of damage. He doesn't stand a chance here. He would have been caught anyway, so I don't really care. There's nothing I can do there. I do try to pull back and provide some support there, but ultimately I do hit Archaon alongside the Senegor with Great Weapon here as they come diving in. I do hit him with Spirit Leech, so a decent amount of damage to be done there. I do want to get rid of enemy leadership as quickly as possible because I need to shut down their morale. If this is what they're going to do, I need to hurt their morale. I cannot kill all of these units. So again, these guys come piling in, charging in from all directions, and unfortunately, my Senegor with throwing axes are actually obstructed now, and there's not much I can do because I'm trying to get that morale damage in from a full surround, and I am doing a decent amount of morale damage. I'm also getting a decent amount of physical damage, especially down here where the Minotaurs with great weapons and the Minotaurs are doing a lot of hurt to this one Chaos Feral Manticore, fully surrounded, eating a beating from all sides, actually forced to rout there, and you'll see I get the opportunity of another Spirit Leech onto Archaon here, doing a decent amount of damage while I do have Arcane Conduit going down on the Brave Shaman here. Again, just trying to keep that magic flowing. These guys are terrified off, so they are retreating, while Kazarak down here does fall apart and die completely. Didn't stand a chance, that poor guy. But these Chaos Feral Manticores now do have to return a fairly long distance into the field here to try and shut me down, while finally the Senegor with throwing axes, I do actually push them off to the side to try and get a clear angle here and get some shots in. And you'll see Archaon has taken a decent amount of damage there, and now some of those axes do get chucked in, popping shots off at the Chaos Feral Manticore, trying to get some damage and try to scare them off once and for all. These guys as well, just kind of waiting for an opening. I do want to send them in, but at the same time, I do also need to get that range support in, so you'll see these guys actually get sent around here, trying to bog down the Chaos Feral Manticore, this one over here, to get a rear charge in there, while these guys get a nice side charge into this unit. And unfortunately, these three are actually coming back to try and shut me down once again, while my Senegor with throwing axes need to be pulled away from this engagement. So I send in these great weapons, try and bog these guys down, and actually pull away with the Senegor with great axes shortly, while I do drop Spirit Leech on this Feral Manticore. A bit of an accident there, a misclick. I was aiming for Archaon there, who is very low on health right now. So unfortunate misclick, but it's okay. I'll get through it, while this unit of Senegor with great weapons does get sent in again to try and shut these guys down, while I think some of my Minotaurs there do decide to give up, but I do have a shatter here. I think that's the second shattered Feral Manticore, but some of my units here do get terrified off while I am pulling these guys away to try and get another cycle charge in there. Archaon now hit by Spirit Leech. I'm finally able to hit him, or rather the Fate of Buna, because I'm that desperate to get leadership off the field, so I focus down on him with the Fate of Buna. I also have some of these Senegors throwing their axes into him, while the Senegors were throwing axes here as well, getting a little involved in melee there while trying to chuck their axes into the central engagement. A couple of more Feral Manticores, they're giving up on the fight with that range support coming in. A nice rear charge would have really closed the battle at this point, but unfortunately, I don't really get that. I think I'm seeing red here, so I don't really get that through, but the Minotaur with great weapons are doing a lot of damage there, and these guys as well doing a lot of work. Archaon finally decides to leave, but Spirit Leech does take care of him, so enemy leadership does drop while they dive into my Minotaurs back here. tossing some of those guys aside, but now I do send in these Xenagors with their throwing axes. I also have these guys chucking their axes into the Feral Manticore over here, and I actually decide to send these Xenagor, rather than into the central engagement, I actually pull them off to the side here to engage this unit of, well, this single Chaos Feral Manticore, because these guys are obstructed. They're not able to fire into the center here, so instead, again, I do decide to send them over here and just try and scare that Manticore off the field. If I can get a couple more units to rout, I can probably shatter the entire enemy army. There's full surround in the center here as well, taking care of these 2 units of Manticores. Yeah, there's 2 of them in there. So taking care of them, and again, getting the Brave Shaman involved, pushing these guys back here to get this Feral Manticore to shatter, and there you have it, a Pyrrhic victory. So if you're going to bring the cheese properly, he could have shut me down. I think with all those Feral Manticore on the field, he could have probably systematically wiped me out, but instead, he got shut down instead. So, yeah. Keep your eye out for more online battles, hopefully some more proper engagements in the future. Cheers.